everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Christelle and welcome to my kitchen. Here on my channel I like to bake primarily, and we'll probably also be throwing in some cooking videos, but it's mainly going to be baking. If this is something that you like and enjoy to watch, or you enjoy baking yourself and you just want some inspiration and motivation, then feel free to subscribe so you can see more videos from me. So today we're going to be making a bundt cake, and this is a really neat cake because it's not just a bundt cake. We're actually going to be doing a pumpkin, so we're going to be taking two bundt cakes and turning them into a pumpkin to look like a pumpkin. And I actually have a little stem here from a pumpkin, a real pumpkin, that we're going to use in the pumpkin, or on top of the pumpkin, to make it look real. It is really cute. I just love how you can put two bundt cakes together and make it look like a pumpkin. That's a really neat idea. Now after you preheat the oven, you're gonna go ahead and put your oil and your sugar into your mixer and mix them up. Okay, so I have 1 cup of vegetable oil here. And I have 2 cups of granulated sugar. And I'm just gonna put both of these into the mixer and I'm gonna mix them up. So we're gonna beat this at a medium speed, and then we're gonna go ahead and start adding our eggs. We're gonna add in our eggs one at a time, and I have 4 eggs here. After you turn your oven on and preheat it to 350, you're going to go ahead and take your bundt pan, and you're going to take some cooking spray, and you're going to go ahead and spray your bundt pan. Spray it really good because we don't want our cake to stick to the pan. And then we're just going to set this aside. Now that we've done our eggs, we're going to be adding our pumpkin puree. Now, one thing that I want to add before we move on that I forgot to mention before is that we're going to be doing this recipe twice, because we're going to be taking 2 bundt cakes and putting them, assembling them on top of each other to make the pumpkin shape. So I am, however, going to do each one separately just so I don't run into any issues with the batter. So I'm just going to go ahead and make one of them just to show you, and then of course I will make one afterwards so that I'll have 2 for the pumpkin. So just wanted to let you know that you will need to make 2 of these to make the pumpkin. So anyways, I've got 2 cans right here. I went ahead and opened up both cans in here. But I'm going to go ahead and just put half of this in there, and we're just going to mix in the pumpkin puree. And then after we mix that in, we're going to go ahead and mix up our dry ingredients to add into the wet ingredients. So let's go ahead and do that. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix up our dry ingredients. We've done our wet ingredients, now we're going to do the dry. So I've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 teaspoon of salt. I've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of ginger. And unfortunately, I do not have nutmeg, so I had to go ahead and substitute allspice. So I've got half a teaspoon of allspice, but if you have nutmeg, go ahead and use that. Okay, so I've got my dry ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and whisk them up. Okay, now that we've mixed up our dry ingredients, we're gonna put the mixer on low and we're gonna start mixing in our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients. Okay, so now that I've mixed it up, I'm gonna go ahead and use my spatula to get it all off the side. Okay, now that I've mixed it up really good, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my bundt pan. Okay, so now I have my batter in my bundt pan and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. And the time for how long it needs to be in the oven will pop up on the screen. I will have the recipe linked down below for you if you want to make this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven and bake my bundt cake. Okay, so we've got our cake. I've got a stem right here for the pumpkin. It's gonna go on the top. I've got my buttercream frosting and I have some tools. Now, and I also have my cake stand, which I will be transferring it to. Now, as you can see, I've already iced this cake and I kind of messed up a bit. I had kind of an idea in my mind how I wanted the frosting color to be. I wanted a very deep orange, and the food coloring that I have, it just didn't really work. I need to get some different ones. So unfortunately the color is not quite what I wanted. So I kind of messed around with it for a while, and I will go ahead and insert in the part where I was decorating it before I put the orange on, just so you can see how to do how I'm assembling it and doing the frosting on in the middle. So what I decided to do, instead of continuing on with the orange, because right now I have just my crumb coat and it's been in the fridge, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm try to remove some of it, but I decided to go ahead and just do a white pumpkin instead of the orange. So I have some white buttercream, and I'm going to just go ahead and cover this with the white buttercream and kind of see how some of the orange might still kind of come through, and I think it might look kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape some of this off. And then once we have it how we want it, you know, as far as the frosting, the coverage and everything, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of use my tool to kind of carve it out a little bit and just try to make it look like a pumpkin. So let's go ahead and just kind of remove some of this, and then we'll do the frosting. Now I'm going to take some of my cake that I have, the excess that I cut off, and I'm just going to shape it to fit in the middle. But you don't want to fill it up too much. You still want to leave a little bit of a dip to look like a pumpkin, and then the stock is going to be going on the top. So I'm just going to put some frosting on there. And then I'm going to take my stock, which you can just get a pumpkin, take the stock off, and it's perfect for this. And I'm just going to put some frosting on it. And I'm just going to stick it down in my pumpkin. Looks so cute. So now I'm just going to go around and just cover up parts of it, smooth it out, and then we'll carve it. So now what I want to do is just kind of go through and carve out a pumpkin. So if you look at a pumpkin, it has kind of those grooves. So I kind of want to get that instead of it just being like smooth. So I kind of want to go through and do that. All right, well guys, this was my first time doing this, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to get kind of the grooves that pumpkins have. I'm kind of having a hard time with that. I tried carving it out in the pumpkin, in the cake part before I put the frosting on it, and I don't know if I did too much frosting, but I'm having a hard time getting those grooves. I'm gonna have to kind of just practice with this. It's just one of those things you have to practice. All right guys, so this is my pumpkin. It was my first time, so I was really just experimenting. I've never done this before. Didn't quite come out how I would have liked. I think I've got to figure out how to carve it better to look more like a pumpkin. But I think it's pretty close, and I love the little stem on the top. I think it's super cute. It's a very tasty recipe. I've already tasted some of the cake because I had to cut some of it off, so I've tasted the recipe part of it, and it's absolutely delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you will give this recipe a try and try making a pumpkin of your own. If you do, let me know in the comments if you end up making this cake. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, and also if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe as well so that you can see more videos of baking and cooking with me. And thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.